And when I take a corner too quick, you get sick. Watch me ride me broadside, wide like a battleship. She's my baby. Maxi jazz that. Yes, yes. Who's got the keys to my RS? Hit the M4 and head west.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Is It? Excellent stuff. Here we go. I keep saying that's going to be. People will pick up on that. I've noticed I say excellent stuff after every intro.
You do.
Yeah, excellent stuff.
Yep.
So, hopefully we're not looking at any UAD plugins this week. What are we looking at, Sean?
Nothing.
Another UAD plugin.
We might be looking at a UAD plugin. Yeah, we haven't looked at loads recently. But, yeah, this one...
It's got 3 big knobs, which is one more than in the studio right now.
That's what you think. Barry's hiding behind the back.
Wake up the gimp.
Jesus. So this is the UAD 6176, which is a piece of hardware. The Universal Audio brought out, I think it was 2004-ish. The hardware came out, and it basically puts together the Universal Audio 61 preamp with either an 1176 compressor or an LA2A compressor in the same thing, and you have a switch and you can flip between.
Oh, that's quite cool.
So the front end stays the same.
Yeah,
you get the same preamp, and then you either get
you fucked it.
Oh, I've totally pressed the wrong thing there. So you either get the simplicity of the LA2A or the slight more complexity. Made a word up there of the 1176. Smashes them together. Basically, that's what it is, and this is a plug-in version of that.
Okay, brilliant.
Yes.
So, give us some interesting information that you've written down on your little card there.
Let's go through it. So the preamp, it's a tube preamp. Gain settings at the top, mic line. You can flip your high Z setting as well, which is quite handy. It's always an interesting one, isn't it? Putting a preamp on a plugin.
Mic or line?
So in a plug-in situation, quite a lot of them are doing that.
Why?
Always has did it on theirs because basically it gives you a boost. So it's like if you've got something and you want to add that saturation to it that you would get from the preamp, it will kick in earlier when it's set to mic.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it's doing. You've got your pad, phase in and out, 75 hertz, high pass. Your level driving in, and then you've got a very simple EQ. So it's 2 bands at any one time. So at the high you've got 7, 10 or 4.5k. The low you've got 100, 200 or 70. And it's kind of simple. It's not doing loads, but it's kind of enough.
Yeah.
And then when you got it in 76 mode, obviously you have your standard 76 controls. You have your attack and your release, and you have your input, your output, your ratio, and your mix. It's different in that the ratios aren't buttons. They couldn't fit them, so it's on a rotary control. But it does have a setting for all buttons in.
Okay.
Which is quite cool.
Yes.
Standard meter situation. And then if you flip it into LA2A mode, it's the left-hand side is the same. The right-hand side, you just have your peak reduction control and your gain control. And then you can flip it between compress or limit.
It's sounding good?
It sounds very legit. It does sound very legit. I got to admit, I never really got on with the hardware. I did try one of these a few times because when it came out, I was still freelancing quite a lot at that point, and they did appear in a few studios, and I wasn't a big fan of the preamp.
It just seems a bit beige. It's another one of those plugins that you've probably got plugins that can already do this. You know, you could already.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that is its issue. Really, is that no one is really going to get the preamp section. Really, no one really needs that. There's, it's basically just a saturation section. That's all it's going to really benefit. It's going to make things sound a bit more analog. We've all probably got plugins that do that. Yeah. Maybe not though. If you're in the UA world, maybe that is a good thing. Compression wise, they are both really good emulations of the 76 and the LA2A. I would say if you're up with plugins, you would know that they gave away their LA2A anyway this year
Right.
for a little while. So most people have probably got the actual LA2A. Almost everyone's got an 1176 or something like
Yeah.
it. So I'm not sure what the market is, really. I think the left-hand side, the preamp section, it's all right, it's useful, but you've probably got something else
Yeah.
that's doing that already. So it all really kind of comes down to price.
Right. Which demo. You can try it for
It's 14 days, which is
approximately 2 weeks, give or take.
give or take 2 weeks. Then,
yeah.
yeah. Price-wise, the standard price of this is £299, which is just, jeez, come on. Come on, that's insane.
Nobody's going to be paying that.
No one's going to be paying that in their right mind. At the moment in the sale, it's £99. Again, I mean, that's not terrible, but
It'd have to be. I mean, you'd have to do the demo for 14 days. You'd have to like it.
you'd
It
have
would
to really like it.
Yeah.
And it does sound nice. And maybe you're thinking, do you know what? This is subtle enough that I could use a lot of these in a mix and always have either an LA2A or an 1176.
And UAD, you do have UAD people, don't you?
You do, yeah.
You
I've
know.
got a couple of friends who are producers
Yeah.
who are pretty much just in the UAD
Yeah.
world. And that's because it was always hardware based for a long time. So they just got fully into UAD.
So the UAD LA 6176,
Yes,
Dr. V.
yes.
Ist it Scheiße?
Based on price and what it does for that price, I'm going to have to say it's a bit shit.
It's shit.
Which I don't like to do that to Universal Audio because they're very good at what they do generally. But I just think this is an unnecessary plugin.
Yeah.
This was not a massively necessary piece of hardware
No.
at the time. You know, it's like if you were in that kind of level using this kind of gear, you probably have better preamps.
You could have a front door and then your favourite LA2A or whatever.
That's going to
1176.
become a little recipe I use a lot.
Yeah. And then have your favourite compressor after it. You don't need to spend 299 euros, dollars, whatever it is on this.
You have hit the nail right on the head there, Mr. Pete.
There we go. So please like the video.
That would be great if you did. You could also subscribe to the channel. You can now become a channel member. There's a bunch of things. You get to see videos a little bit early, but you also get one free master a month from my mastering business, which is worth 50 quid if you're at the higher level of the membership.
I've subscribed for that reason alone.
No, well, start doing your mastering.
yeah.
again.
Instagram Studio Life 101, Patreon, merch stall, all of that other bollocks just down below. Please go and have a look. But until next time, sayonara, suckers.